Get into the Wolves, definitely. When I was like preparing for this, I remember your big rivalry, with GSP before that fight, and I remember a piece of footage. Actually, I remember a statement you made where you said, "I'm more of a martial artist than he is," and I remember first thinking, "Okay, here's the English guy with the red mohawk," and I'm like, "That's quite a thing to say to a guy that comes in the gi." GSP comes in with the headband and everything, right? Kyokushin, and then they played footage of you. I think you were 11 and you were training in China.
Oh no, I was old. It was 2000. I was 20.
20, okay.
Yeah,
and
no,
when you were in
18.
China?
You just looked 11.
Yeah,
really young.
Yeah, that was just how skinny and I had my head shaved. They shaved my head because I went out there with long hair as well.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was 19. I had long hair, and I was there for like 2 days, and they sat me down and shaved my head, and I lost. I went down to like 10 stone 3 or something, which I can't even convert it to pounds.
143. 140, yeah.
Wow.
So got banker.
I know, that's scary. That's how he does it. So was that the start of your martial arts journey, or did it started much younger?
I started when I was 6.
Wow.
Yeah, I was into the Ninja Turtles, and I was at school, and I'm running around fighting with kids, and not really with the intention of hurting them most of the time. And it was just, my parents were like, okay, we need to find a place where he can go and do this. So Taekwondo was the most available. And I started with that, and I was doing that I did it for 17 years totally. But throughout, my early teens, like from, 13, 14, 15, I was starting to go to different martial arts schools and just really to find other people to train with, people to challenge me in different ways. So, because I'd like to go to a kung fu class and, do the first 40 minutes of the class. So then people in the room have started to get an idea of, well, he looks like he knows what he's doing, but it's not kung fu. So then when sparring comes, everyone wants to try and take your head off and beat the new guy up. So I kind of went looking for fights in martial arts gyms and
in Nottingham.
Anywhere. But yeah, anywhere. I mean, if I could get to another city, I would go with a friend and we'd travel and do different tournaments, traditional jiu-jitsu, and I've done all sorts, karate and judo and just different styles of kung fu. And it was just anything I could find a combative challenge, really.
How long were you with the Shaolin monks for?
Just 2 months. My intention was to go out there for 2 months and check it out, kind of get a feel for the place, and then come back and finish university and then go and do 3 years. But while I was out there, I realized that as much as I was enjoying the process of learning the weapons and all the traditional styles that we were learning at the time, and the strictness of it, the stretching and the early mornings and prolonged days of training, that was all great, but the content was no real use to me in a combative situation. So when I got back, I started to focus much more on Muay Thai, because I really thought that I was so into Kung Fu. I saw the 36 Chambers of the Shaolin, and I was like, okay, I want to do that. Sign me up 3 years, with the knives on the elbows and all of it, holding the buckets of water, and I just wanted that experience, and it was good that I went to feel it out before, because it changed my journey entirely. It took me towards the actual combat side of it.
Which is what you always wanted, which is why you toured those schools, because you wanted reality. You wanted what works in sparring.
And to be honest, Thai boxing, I think, is the most brutal of all the combat sports on your body.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got elbows and knees, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Your shins get busted up, your hands get busted up, and the way that they judge it is, it's not by what you land, it's about the impact that you have on the guy. So if you stand there, take the guy's best stuff, and you don't move, it doesn't score. Whereas if I teep you and you go back, even though that's not really damaged you in any way, you've been moved and there's been an impact, and that scores very highly. So basically, if you're really tough, you can do really well in Thai boxing.
Yeah, and that was my limit for Taekwondo. That was where I started to fail.
If you like alternative history, which is what I do, then expect everything that you say to be turned over forensically, very, very closely, by large numbers of hostile academics.